Hello, Martin. I believe you've got some interesting tips to show us in Google Sheets.
Hi, Melanie. Yes, something that's quite important when you're working with spreadsheets is an audit trail of changes that were made. Now, something that is quite powerful and useful in Google Sheets is the ability to see all the changes that were made from the first time that the specific spreadsheet was created up to the current time. So one of the ways in which you can basically see the changes that were made is in any spreadsheet. You can just go to File and you scroll down to Version History, and then you can basically see the full version history over here. So if you take a look here, we can see that this experimental spreadsheet we created yesterday, and we just did some experiments and some different people changes. So you can see that there's basically a full history was created on the 29th. Then on the 29th at 3:05, some changes were made. And it basically, you can see the full detail of the individual changes over here, but it sort of groups them together so it doesn't become too overwhelming. Because when you're changing a spreadsheet, you might be working in hundreds of cells, and the last thing you want to do is 100 rows, just for changes that happen in a few minutes. So yeah, so this is the full history of changes. So the really nice thing is if you want to restore a specific version, so if you want to restore the spreadsheet to the way it was at this specific date time, all you have to do is basically click on restore this version. It'll just prompt you. So your current document will revert to the version on that date, and just click on restore. And now it's back the way it was. So now let's say you made a mistake and say, oh shucks, I actually didn't want to choose that one, I chose the wrong one. And you want to go back to the way it was before we reverted back, then you can just go back to version history. So you go to File, Version History, see the version history. And so this is now what we changed. So it's okay, now I want to go back to the way it was before. You can see that was restored from April 29th. So let's go, so let's say we want to go back and say, okay, I rather want to go back to the way. And you can see a preview on the left hand here of what it's going to look like when you restore.
And I can see it also highlights all of the changes that you previously made.
Yes, in that color that's not blue.
In teal.
Teal, that's the color. I'm so glad I can get your opinion on what the color is. All right, I only know blue, red, and green. All right, here we go. So now we're back. So you can see it's such a safe way to go backwards and forwards. No matter what you do, you can almost not, lose information. And just something that I spotted that I haven't mentioned, I know we discussed this earlier and I didn't actually mention it to you, is if you, in your version history, what you can also do is, if you can actually give a name to a specific version to make it stand out. So let's say this was a very important one, let's call this the golden version. So there was like a very important version. So this is our golden version. So if I go back now and I make another change, let's say I add another sales lead. Let's add you over here. I know I'm not selling to you, but anyway. So let's go there, we add another lead, and we go to version history, and let's just see the history over there. You can see there's our golden version. So I don't have to go through hundreds of versions to find something that was sort of important at one stage.
Martin, I also saw in that drop-down menu that you can make a copy.
Oh yes, thanks for reminding me of that. So yeah, let's say we go on past our golden version, and now I want to make a separate spreadsheet that I don't want to change this one. I'm happy with the version here, but I want to make a separate sheet that's basically a copy of the golden version. So all I have to do is I go here and I say, I can either restore this version, I can say make a copy. Now, what this is going to do is it's actually creating a copy of the spreadsheet the way it was at that stage, but it's a separate spreadsheet. So So this is quite useful if you want to give some of the spreadsheet to somebody else that was maybe at a different stage. So there you go.
Thank you, Martin. It was a fantastic lesson that we've learned today again. And I hope you're going to share more lessons with us in Google Sheets.
Thanks, Manani. Pleasure.